Hi, Andrew Gottlieb. I'm the Executive Director of the Association to Preserve Cape Cod. I'm speaking to you in part from my role there. Also, I used to run the SRF program when I was a DEP, and I was a Mashpee Select Board member during the time when we were grappling with a lot of the issues that you're grappling with here. My reason for joining you this evening is to commend the town for doing the hard and necessary work to address the water quality needs that you have. You have an exemplary record, first in dealing with your water supply issue and now taking on this extremely complex wastewater issue. I think your plan is well thought out. It is not without challenges and not without costs, but based on the work that we have done and we have seen working with all 15 towns, I think it's fair to say that eventually you're going to have to manage your wastewater through a central collection and treatment facility. Rich and Hillary just made a really important point that the DEP regs, if you do not advance this program, will impose upgrade requirements on your individual homeowners that we know will not meet the water quality standards and will not see water quality restoration that you want, and that would put you in the position in the future of having to go back to your voters who've incurred those costs to put in individual IA systems and then ask them to do the project that you're doing now. You'll be likely doing that under an administrative consent order, and having been involved in writing the DEP regulations, your enforcement, being under an enforcement action, would preclude you from getting the 0% loan that you currently qualify for from the SRF. You would have to pay the interest rate. That interest rate will be significant over the life of your project. And that reality means that right now, especially given the funding challenges that are coming down the road at the SRF program, your opportunity to implement a solution that we all know you're going to have to do eventually is never cheaper for your residents than it will be right now. The SRF program is under a lot of pressure. The expectation is that there will be less money available next year and the year after at least, and likely into the moderate future. You have a position on that funding list right now that a lot of other communities competed for across the state and didn't get. To lose the opportunity to access the money that you currently have set aside for you, both the state level and through the Cape and Islands Water Protection Fund, would be looked back upon in the future as a critical mistake that the town made, and one that would ultimately cost you more money. So I really encourage you to move ahead with this. Your best chance to do this at the lowest possible cost, not no cost, but lowest possible cost to your community members, is to advance this project now at your June town meeting and to do the debt exclusion necessary. Moving back from the APCC role, I will tell you, having done this in Mashpee recently, the issues that you're dealing with about grinder pumps, Mashpee did the same thing you're proposing to do here, which is to assume the cost of the grinder pumps. Mashpee, like you're proposing to do here, did not go the betterment route except for condominium projects in a very limited way, because we determined at that time that there were community-wide benefits to moving ahead with a project like this, even though not the entirety of the town would have to connect to it. And part of the reason this is an economical way to go is because you get higher levels of treatment through your municipal treatment plant, you have to manage and control the wastewater from fewer homes than if you have to do it through individual alternative-based systems. This is just simply the right way to go, and I would really encourage you to support this at your town meeting and to move forward with this project. It's in your community's best interest, and it's in the Cape's best interest writ large. The last thing I'll say is, because of the Cape and Islands Water Protection Trust Fund combined with the zero interest loans, both features are almost exclusively, and in fact, the Cape and Islands Water Protection Trust Fund is exclusively available to Cape communities. It is less expensive to build a collection system and a treatment plant for Cape Cod than it is anywhere else in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. These are opportunities that have been put in place over a long period of time by the legislature, successive legislatures, and successive governors, to enable communities like Eastham to have the opportunity to do this in a way that is more affordable for our residents than would be the case if you lived off Cape. So there's a unique opportunity here to take advantage of funding that is not available to anybody else other than Cape Cod communities, and it would be a shame to squander that opportunity. I thank you for your time.